Sharp tools. What good is it to threaten people with death? If capital punishment was an effective deterrent, no one would dare commit a crime. When administering justice, be careful. The executioner is like a skilled carpenter at his trade. Do not try to take his place. For if you pick up the carpenter's sharp tools, you're liable to cut yourself. Chapter 74 of the Tao Te Ching, titled Sharp Tools. One of the most important next steps, and make no mistake, in the last several chapters of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu is laying out these next steps. In some ways, it's a mad rush to the finish of these 81 chapters, saying, if you understand the nature of what I'm talking about, something that is entirely in the negative space that will never be able to be fully put into words, but you have put these sharp tools in your tool belt, which you, as the carpenter, as the leader, as the manager, as the administrator of your own life and justice in it, if you understand and have put these tools in your tool belt, you are now in the business of doing something about it. Be careful. Don't try to be the executioner. When we look to what comes next once we have these tools, the discussion becomes, what do we do with them? That happens on both the individual basis and on the interactive basis between individuals. Recognizing that the tools that you have in your tool belt are different than the tools that other people have in their tool belts is an opportunity for collaboration, for getting along, for finding shared value and exchange. There are many different ways to express value. There are so many different ways, perhaps even an innumerable number of ways that we can exchange consensually together. And truly that is what is possible, most possible in capitalism versus any other system. It's one of the elements that makes capitalism a uniquely moral system, perhaps I would argue the only moral system that we currently have at our disposal. It is the only system which maximizes happiness and minimizes not happiness, which can come in many different forms. I won't tie that to a single word, and in fact, happiness itself comes in many different forms. Each person has these different tools. What is unique about capitalism in the administration of justice is that it doesn't say, here is the one hard, fast set of rules that is going to apply to every person. It says each of us are different. It is consistent with reality in that way. And it says as long as it's consensual, holy cow, there is no shortage of ways that we can get along peacefully, consensually, and that we can build a cohesive society. I'm going to take perhaps the most divergent way of thinking here, the two often compared versions of a way to organize society, free trade versus centrally controlled collective governance. Let's, for the sake of argument, call this capitalism versus socialism. Which of these is superior? Which one maximizes happiness for all people better? I think it's very evident and incredibly easy to understand that capitalism is superior because in a capitalist system, you're free to be a socialist. You're free to be a communist even. You're free to live in a collective way so long as all of the participants are voluntary. There's actually nothing getting in your way. You don't need to have free markets, for example. The markets are inherently free and that everyone there is there consensually. However, it simply limits the use of force and violence against others. Flip that on its head, can you be a capitalist in a socialist system or a communist system? Absolutely not. So there's already a whole segment of people who are less satisfied, less happy, less safe, less secure in their rights, in their person, in their ability to pursue happiness by inverting those. Picking up the carpenter's tools, you are liable to cut yourself.